Hi friends, welcome to the new topic, that's a company account. Company is an artificial person created by law having separate entity with perpetual succession and a common sale. Okay, here you know that the Companies Act 1956 Act. Now recently Companies Act amended in the year 2013 and rules also framed in 2014. Okay, as per the new act, companies are of three types. Companies are here. First one, it is a one-man company. Second one is a public company. And third one is a private company. One-man company means a single member is there, single person is there, and paid up share capital does not exceed 50 lakhs rupees. 50 lakhs rupees, and the average annual turnover of the 3 years should not exceed the 2 crores. 2 crores. So many criteria are there. These are the main criteria of one-man company. Public company, you know that is a minimum number is a 7 members and maximum number is a unlimited numbers. Unlimited members. And private company means a minimum 2 members, maximum is 200 members, etc. We are in our chapter. In this chapter, we are discussing about the share capital of the company. Okay, share capital of the company. What is the share capital means? Share is a capital issued or collected through the shares. That capital is called a share capital. What is a share then means? Share means the small unit of the capital divided into the small unit. One small unit is called what? A share. And these shares we are saying that is equity shares and preference shares. Equity shares and preference shares. Equity shares are the real owners of the company, and this is the preference shareholders are not the real owners of the company. These are the equity shareholders are the residual owners of the company. So here that is public company. Public company can issue shares. Public company only can issue shares to the public, and private company can issue the shares to the public. So here we are classifying, that is we want to issue the shares to the company. So many procedures also is there, and there we are classifying that's the companies. Classification of the companies shares are, first one it is the authorized capital. Authorized capital. Authorized capital means their maximum capital. Maximum capital that is specified in their memorandum of association. Memorandum of association, they are specifying that maximum amount of capital. That capital is called the nominal capital or authorized capital. Another name is the nominal capital. Nominal capital or the authorized capital. That's the maximum amount of capital. And the next one it is the issued capital. Issued capital, that means how much capital from this authorized capital we are offering to the public. Offering to public. That is called what? That is called the issued capital. Then another one capital is there, subscribed capital. Okay, we are offered this capital to the public, and how much they are subscribed. Subscribed capital. Subscribed capital, the part of the issued capital subscribed by the public. How much it is subscribed by the public is called subscribed capital. Okay, and then the subscribed capital, we are like how much we call the money, how much we demanded, how much money or amount we demanded from the public, that is called up capital. And then when is we didn't call, that is uncalled capital. Uncalled capital. And from the part of this, some portion of this uncapped capital we will reserve for our future use. That means we will call at the time of the winding up of the company only. Such a capital we called as what is the reserve capital. Okay, we called up, we demanded to make the payment of the share capital portion, that is called the capital, called up capital, and afterwards these shareholders are making the payment. That capital is called the paid up capital. Okay, this portion is called the paid up capital. So sometimes what will happen, you know, these shares, it is shareholders we called up, but some shareholders failed to make the payment. Failed to make a payment. At that time, failed to make the payment, we can call that part of the capital is called, what is the calls in arrears. Calls in arrears. And then afterwards what will happen, you know, they failed to make the payment, and that portion we are calling, that is a calls in arrears. At the same time, some people will give advance money. Advance money we didn't call, so they are giving the advance money. Advance money they are giving, that we can call as a calls in advance. Okay, calls in advance. This calls in arrears, we can charge the interest. How much interest we can charge, you know, 10% interest we can charge. Here calls in advance, we have to make the payment of interest to that people, that is a 12% interest we have to provide to these people. So in the case of some people failed to make the payment of calls, afterwards we can cancel those shares. Cancelling the shares because of the non-payment of any money, non-payment of call money or any allotment money or any other money, that is called non-payment of the money. That process we can say that what's a forfeiture of shares. Forfeiture of shares. That process is called the forfeiture of shares. At the time of this forfeiture of shares, if they already paid some amount, no need to return that amount to that people. That amount we are transferring to the forfeited share account. One new account we are starting, and that paid amount we are transferring to the forfeited shares account. For this amount, we can use for the reissue time. This again after forfeited, that now share with us, so we can reissue that shares. Okay, reissue of forfeited shares. Forfeited shares. Normally, as per the 2013 Act, we can't issue shares at a discount. But at the time of the forfeited shares reissuing time, we can issue such shares in discount. So that discounted portion we can take from which portion? This forfeited shares account balance we can take. If any balance is there in forfeited shares account, that amount we can transfer to our capital reserve. Okay, let me discuss with one example. I am saying that my authorized capital is 2 lakh shares. Okay, 2 lakh shares at the rate of rupees 10 each. That is, this is a share value, nominal value is there. Okay, and I am issuing 1 lakh shares. Okay, this is a issued capital, and the subscriber or public accepted 90,000 shares. Okay, one rule is there, minimum subscription we have to attain. Then only we can issue the shares. So 90% is that one. So 90,000 shares subscribed, and paid up means that how much is it? 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares didn't make the payment. So that 1,000 shares, and I called the full amount, 10 amount I called, and the last 1,000 shareholder, the shareholder who took the 1,000 shares didn't make the last call money. How? I am not calling this 10 rupees together. First we are receiving some amount along with the application. Okay, I can call this lump sum, and I can call this amount as a installment also. Here, if I am calling lump sum, means no case of this calls in arrears, calls in advance, and nothing. It should be the one time I am collecting, I am issuing the shares. No arrear amount is there. But if I am collecting money through Installment method, various installments are there. First, I am collecting application along with the application money. Then I am issuing, allotting shares. So allotment process is there, and along with that one I am collecting amount. Then subsequent calls. Okay, first call, second call, like that. How many calls I want to call, like that I can call. So I am saying here that is the particular person gave one first call is there and their second call. So 2 calls are there. So I collected 3 rupees application, 2 rupees allotment, 3 rupees first call and 2 rupees second call. Those are total 10 rupees. So the particular person who took the my 1000 shares failed to make the payment of these 2 rupees only. He paid all other rupees but he failed to make the payment of 2 rupees. That amount we can call as calls in arrears. Afterwards, I gave notice to him make the payment of money within time limit, but again he failed to make that payment. So I can cancel that shares. So that process is called as forfeiture of shares. So at that time he made the payment of 8 rupees. He made the payment that rupees with me. I am not going to return that amount to that particular person. I can transfer that amount to forfeited shares account, and balance is a calls in arrear account that I can cancel. Okay, such shares I can these 1000 shares I can issue, reissue at discount. Also I can reissue. At the time of issuing at the discount, maximum discount I can give this 8 rupees. How much is the paid amount? I received the amount, up to that much I can give the discount. That means these 1000 shares I can issue, that is 2 rupees. 8 rupees I can give that a discount. Sometimes we can issue that one par value. Sometimes we can issue that is an premium also. If I am giving any discount, I should take that discount amount from forfeited share account balance. Okay. Suppose this share I reissued at the rate of rupees 8. So I have to take 2 rupees from this forfeited shares account. So my forfeited shares account balance is 8 rupees. I am deducting these 2 rupees to that is a discount I gave, and balance 6 rupees is there. These 6 rupees I can transfer to my capital reserve. Next topic, next one is there. I can issue these shares. Already we discussed. My face value of their share is rupees 10 only. I can issue these shares at premium or face value, that we can call par. As per the new act, I can't issue these shares at discount. 2 special situations are there. Sweat equity shares. That means I am issuing shares to my employees or my directors as their services. Other ways to reissue of forfeited shares. Okay. Premium means demand of my securities is high. So I am giving these shares at the 12 rupees. So securities premium is of rupees 2 rupees is the securities premium. I can use this securities premium for some specified purpose only, not for all other purpose. For what purpose I can use the securities premium reserve account? Issuing fully paid up bonus shares to its members, or writing off preliminary expenses, writing off expenses or commission paid, discount allowed, or any issue of securities or debentures, or providing the premium payable on redemption of any redeemable preference shares or any debentures of the company, or purchasing its own shares. That means a buyback of shares. Following purpose only I can use, that is a securities premium reserve account, reserve amount. So then another term is that I can issue shares at the par also. I can't issue shares at a discount as per the new act. Okay, and then another cases is I am issuing, in our earlier example, I said that I am issuing my shares. How many shares I am ready to issue to the public? So my issued capital is, I said, that is 1 lakh rupees, 1 lakh shares, 1 lakh shares at the rate of rupees 10. Okay, this time, so many application received. If I am receiving the less application, As per our example, I received only 90,000 application. So sometimes I may receive the 1 lakh application from the public. Sometimes 1,50,000 application from the public. So if I am receiving that is a less amount, this term we can use that is the under subscription. Under subscription, and here we can use as a fair subscription. Fair subscription. Here we can say that is the over subscription. Okay, 3 terms are there: under subscription, fair subscription, and over subscription. So, if the under subscription case means you have to take care one thing only, if it is reaching the 90% or not. If we are having the minimum subscription, we should need. If it is reaching the 90% of the issued capital, we can issue, no problem. How many are applied, we can issue the shares for the full people. So, if it is a 1 lakh also fair subscription, how many application shares we have, that much we can. But if it is over subscription, what to do? We don't have that much shares to give the people. At that time, we can use 3 methods. One means we can reject. Okay, reject excess application. Excess application we can reject. And well, here 1 lakh application, 1,50,000 application is there. 1 lakh we are giving, 50,000 we are rejecting. Regret letter we are sending, along with the money also we are rejecting. Next one it is that we can use, that is a pro rata allotment. What is a pro rata allotment? That means I am not going to reject any amount. I am not going to reject any amount, and not the shareholder. 1,50,000 shareholders are there. I am proportionately I am giving the shares to the all shareholders. Sorry, or applicants. That is called the pro rata allotment. Third situation means that is some rejection. Okay, some rejection and balance pro rata allotment. Pro rata allotment. So I am rejecting here 20,000 application, and I am giving 1,30,000 application to the share capital in some proportion we are giving. So at that time some doubt will came to your mind, what to do with that excess amount. So now we are having only 1 lakh shares. We are collecting 1,50,000 rupees and giving the share proportionately. At that time, the balance amount, proportionately balance amount we have, that amount adjusted to the next call. Okay, if that is the act or that is the question, permit us to adjust it to the next call, we can adjust. After adjusting all amount, then also some money is left over, some money we have to refund that amount to the people. If it is an adjustment, so we have to adjust this money into the subsequent calls. One more situation I can discuss here, I think. So, I am calling that is the issuing shares. I can issue shares for cash. And then consideration other than cash. Consideration other than cash. So, if I am giving issuing shares for cash means either I can collect the lump sum amount, or I can use that as an installment. Okay, this method we discussed here. Lump sum means I am not going to my share value is 10 rupees along the application money. I am saying to give the full amount. I am issuing shares to them. And then installment method means we are dividing into the different installment, application, allotment, first call, second call, etc. and collecting money based on some time intervals. Okay, what is then consideration other than cash? We are purchasing some asset from vendors, and then we are issuing shares, or we are purchasing one business and then we are giving our shares to them. So, okay children, if we are purchasing one asset, okay, we are purchasing one asset. Suppose we are purchasing one building we are purchasing, that is a credit purchase. What should be journal entry? Let's say here we are writing that is the what is the buildings coming out inside. So journal entry is building account debit to vendors account. vendors account. And then afterwards we are giving, that is a vendors we are cancelling and giving to the equity share capital to them. Okay. Sometimes we are saying, that is we are giving half amount, and half amount we are giving, that is equity share capital. Or if you can write, this is a building account debit to vendor account debit to cash or bank, how much we are giving, balance amount you can adjust to the equity share. So sometimes we will issue that shares or as a premium also. At that time, premium also we have to adjust here, and a number of shares. How many shares we issued? That means I am saying that is here my value is 1 lakh rupees. I have to give this vendor 1 lakh rupees. My face value of shares is 10 rupees. So 1 lakh divided by 10. So how many shares he is getting? If I am issuing shares at a premium means my share value is 12 rupees. So 1 lakh divided by 12. How many shares I can issue to him? So like that we can adjust that one here. So children, here again we are purchasing one business, full business we are purchasing. So we have to adjust what is the asset, and then our these two things we have to adjust. What are the things? Asset, sundry asset, we are taking out the sundry asset, all asset, sundry asset we have to take up and then adjust to the, which one is under our other liabilities. Okay, sundry asset and liabilities we are taking over, and afterwards how much amount we have to make the payment. So we are writing here, that is a vendors. Okay, how many shares. Sometimes this capital, this asset value is a higher value, but liability, after adjusting this amount, this credit side is the less amount and debit side is the higher amount. That means we are getting that's a more asset, but our liability is the less amount. So that time, that's our capital gain, we can transfer to the capital reserve. That amount we can transfer to the capital reserve. Okay. Sometimes this amount, this liability side amount is the higher amount, our asset side amount is the less amount. That means actual asset how much we are getting, we have to make the more than that payment. So that term we can use at the goodwill. That is a goodwill we are taking. So that is should write here, it is a goodwill. Write in journal entry time that extra amount how much we are making the payment, that you should write here is a goodwill. This goodwill we can say that it is a purchased goodwill. Okay. I hope children I explained very fast all terms we are discussing in the company accounts. In the next class we can I will explain you how to write the journal entry and how to solve one problem. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.